right, everyone. It's about 4 past the hour, so we'll get going here. Hi, my name is Allison, and I have the privilege of taking care of our community here at Zapier. And today, we're really excited to talk about all things CRM and customer data with our friends over at RelateIQ. So joining me today is Alex and Andrew, I believe, from RelateIQ. How's it going, guys?
It's great. How's everybody doing today?
Good, good. Looks like we got a little weird double Allison camera here going on. Before we get going here, just a little housekeeping note. So if you scroll down the page you're on just below me, you'll actually see a little chat room, and that is where you can ask any questions you might be having as we're going along through the session. My buddy Danny, who works with me as Zapier, will be there to answer any questions you have, and he's a RelateIQ user himself, so he should be able to cover all of the bases as it relates to RelateIQ or Zapier or a combination of the two. So any question that you have while we're talking through things, just pop them down there in that chat room, and Danny will be able to take care of that for you guys while we're kind of going through things here. So I know that Andrew actually had a little bit of like an intro that he wanted to do. We wanted to talk about RelateIQ and you know what they do and what that means and all things sort of in the RelateIQ world. So I'm going to turn it over to Andrew actually for a little bit, and he's going to kind of talk through a couple of RelateIQ related things, and then we'll kind of end everything with talking about a little automation. So I'm going to toss it over to Andrew here. There we go.
Hi guys, this is Alex, and Andrew's next to me. I'm from marketing at RelateIQ.
And I'm on the product team.
Thanks so much for joining us today. So we thought the RelateIQ Zapier partnership is incredibly important to us. So RelateIQ is a CRM solution purchased by Salesforce.com a year ago. And so we want to really talk about ways today that our customers use the Zapier integration with RelateIQ to bring in sort of great tools from across everything in the plethora that the internet has to offer. So Andrew's going to take you through a quick background on what RelateIQ is, and then talk about the key use cases that our customers have and how it can work with Zapier getting all of your sort of customer landscape into the RelateIQ system. And then we'll answer any questions that you may have.
Great. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah.
So as Alex said, we're RelateIQ. We are the smarter, simpler CRM. We're now a Salesforce company. And our mission is to power the world's professional relationships with products people love. The company was founded a couple years ago based on the problem that we thought that relationship management was broken. And so what we wanted to do was create kind of a next-generation CRM platform that was focused on 4 key factors for success. Those key factors for success are focusing on things that are automatic. So we've built a platform that automatically captures all of your email communication, all of your contacts, and automatically puts them into one platform for you without any manual data entry. We create a platform that's intelligent. So you can imagine that we have a lot of data. How can we go through and mine through it using data science and natural language processing to put that data to work for you, to make sure that you're not dropping the ball and to make sure that you're selling smart. Focusing on things that are collaborative. So how can we create a platform where your team can collaborate on deals so that you can close deals faster together and all in one place? And then focusing on a platform that's really intuitive. We'd like to think that we're getting teams up and running in a matter of minutes on RelateIQ, whereas a lot of other CRM systems take weeks, sometimes months, and they require a dedicated admin to actually get your team up and running on RelateIQ. And so we'll show you a little bit more about RelateIQ and actually get you inside the product as well as into Zapier. But this is just kind of a high-level overview of who we are and what we're kind of focusing on and doing today.
Hey Andrew, while you're going through here, you mind pushing that full screen so people can see things a little bit easier?
Yeah, I can. I have to switch a couple tabs during the presentation, so if people don't mind me exiting full screen mode, I think that's okay. So why don't we
that's totally cool. I want to make sure that people see everything you put together here. So.
Cool. Sounds great. So I'll give everybody a moment to take a look at this. Great. Awesome. So how do RelateIQ customers use Zapier today? What are the most common use cases? Keep in mind, we've kind of put together some of the most commonly integrated applications across 4 key workflows into RelateIQ here. And keep in mind that with these integrations, you can pass data into or take action within RelateIQ by using Zapier without writing a single line of code. Teams are setting up these integrations in a matter of minutes. There's no code that needs to be written, and it's allowing you to really get the relevant data into RelateIQ across, let's say, lead capture. So how do you automatically create contacts or leads inside your CRM system from your web forms? How do you include some of your productivity tools, like your sales notes that you're taking in Evernote, or some events that you're hosting with potential customers from Eventbrite? How do you incorporate all of the relevant communication and finance transactions from some of your finance or systems of record tools? Or how do you incorporate some of your key support communication that you're working with your customers, so your sales reps know that there's an open support ticket or that there's been support communication with a customer before you actually get on a call? And keep in mind, these are just a few. There are hundreds and hundreds of more applications. The world of possibilities is actually endless with Zapier. So we also look forward to learning more about how our customers are using Zapier in the most common ways. And so what we kind of wanted to do is demo 2 of the most common applications that our customers integrate with Zapier into RelateIQ. And 2 of those are Wufoo, so a web form, so capturing new leads that come to your site, and how do you get those to automatically update into RelateIQ. And then Recurly, which is a finance payment system that some of our customers use to execute contracts, charge their customers. How do you actually get some of those key transactions into our RelateIQ stream, which is basically our history view of everything that's occurred between yourself and the customer? And how do you also get some of the key transactions, like when the deal was closed, how much revenue was the deal actually closed for, into RelateIQ updated correctly? And so the journey kind of all begins by registering for our platform, which we feel is extremely intuitive and easy to do. We encourage you to start a free trial with us today. I'm going to walk you through how to do that right now. You can start a free trial right here by the link, so feel free at any time to jump in and register right now. So what I'm going to do is kind of show you what that process looks like. So kind of going to our sign up page, you can click on authenticating with Google here. You can see here I'm creating a login password.
So what that does while Andrew logs in, by authenticating your account with Google, you've already started the process of capturing all of your information, all your team's communications into your CRM solution. So in the background, aside from just setting up a login, we start to crawl your communication data and pull in the relevant contact information, communications across the team, et cetera, et cetera. So by the time you get into RelateIQ, it's already begun the process of being populated.
Yeah, and so this is kind of giving you a high-level overview of RelateIQ. We have this notion of lists where we let you track either people or companies or accounts, and we let you kind of navigate with a key status field to keep track of the relevant milestones in your pipeline. We have intelligence fields, things like inactive days, so automatically going through and looking at the data and telling you which customers you haven't communicated with for, let's say, 8, 3, or 1 day, if you can see here. We are automatically updating the RelateIQ stream, so giving you the latest information about your opportunities in real time. So once you add a customer to RelateIQ, you'll click on the stream and automatically see the existence of your communication since the beginning of time.
And you might have noticed in the top right, now it says contact successfully updated. What this means is, while Andrew's been talking about this and learning what he's going to see and how everything works, your CRM is automatically pre-populated. So in the sort of older days when you needed to configure CRM to your needs, type in all your information, and get the information across your team, make sure you had everything cleaned up and imported. Using RelateIQ, you authenticate your email address, and then that's all done for you by the time you start.
Kind of here, you can see what the stream looks like at context. You see some calls, some emails, when the relationship was added to RelateIQ. You see some commenting, so you can close as a team, making sure that you can collaborate on the deal. We also have follow-ups so that nothing slips through the cracks. So we'll actually suggest who you should follow up with based on past communication. To say if you email someone and they forget to get back to you, we'll automatically tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you should be following up with Eloise Brown today based on this. Based on your prior context, we'll let you kind of get a forecast of your upcoming follow-ups. And then on top of that, you can tell that we have a lot of data that we're pulling in the system. How can we put that to work for you and give you actionable insights based on all the automatic data that we're capturing? And so we have reporting built around all the way from funnel analysis to how you're converting deals through your pipeline to activity reporting, automatically reporting on all of your communications so you can see how your activity is trending with your team. So this is kind of analyzing the health of your pipeline, seeing what deals are unconverted, converted, where your percentage rates are high, where they're low. And then once that, we kind of let you get started inside of RelateIQ. So this is kind of building your pipeline, and we allow you to build your pipeline based on creating lists. So what I'm going to do, so in a matter of minutes, you can see that I've registered for a free trial. I've gone through our entire kind of first tutorial, giving you the basics of RelateIQ. And so what I'm going to do now is kind of hop in to another organization that I have on RelateIQ to kind of show you our notion of a list. And so a list allows you to track key milestones in your pipeline and really kind of mirrors whatever type of workflow you're trying to accomplish. So we'll focus on sales for today. You can see here we have a status field, which allows you to track the key milestones in your pipeline all the way from when you're sending out a contract to when you're actually closing the deal. Things like when the deal is closed, how much revenue, what industry they're in, lead source, created date, owner. And once you click in, Elise, you can see that stream kind of real time and live. You can see here that we've had a meeting with Elise, we've had a few phone calls, we've had a few emails, and this goes back all the way to the beginning of time when we first started talking to Elise. So this is a really powerful place where you can get all the context you need to sell smarter to Elise. But on top of that, we have our intelligence fields. When I add a field, I can click on our intelligence fields. Let's say I want to see how many events have occurred between myself or my team and Elise. I can do that. How many days has Elise been in the current status of open? How many inactive days have occurred between my team and Elise? What was the last meeting date? What's the next follow-up due? All kind of key triggers or things that you can use to filter and sort to really get down to who you should be talking to right now. And so what we wanted to do is, now that we have these leads kind of in our RelateIQ list, how do we get new ones in there using Zapier? How do we get some new leads from, let's say, a web form like Wufoo? So if I pop over into Wufoo, this is kind of a Wufoo web form that I've created where I'm collecting contacts, emails, phone numbers, what industry they're in, and their name. And you can see here I've already captured about 4 or 5 leads here. You can see Jason Smith is here. And what I want to do is use Zapier to automatically update these leads into RelateIQ every time a new web form is submitted. So how do we go about doing that? Well, in RelateIQ, we've built out an out-of-the-box integration with Zapier that you can access under the settings page on integrations. So you can see here, all you have to do is click once into Zapier here. Keep in mind there's no code required here. And we'll generate what's called an API key and an API secret that you can use to connect RelateIQ to Zapier. And once you connect RelateIQ to Zapier, you'll then need to go into Zapier and tell Zapier what you want to do. And so here I've kind of choosing what's called a trigger and an action. So every time a new entry is submitted in Wufoo, I want to create a new relationship or a new lead, let's say, inside of RelateIQ. So if you can see here, I've selected that here. Then I've kind of selected the Wufoo account that I want to use. So that's kind of what I showed you before. I've selected my RelateIQ account, which is the organization that I'm in, where I got that API key and API secret. And now I kind of have the option to filter by some key Wufoo triggers. So let's say here I've selected the Wufoo form that I want to use. It's the one that's collecting that industry, the email, the phone number. I also, Zapier provides this fantastic functionality where I'm also allowed to, or Zapier, excuse me, and Wufoo provide this great functionality where I can filter by certain fields on that web form. So say I only want to update new leads that submit a phone number. I don't want anything else inside my CRM system. I can do that as well. But for the interest of today, in terms of RelateIQ, I want all those leads that are submitting information on my site inside RelateIQ. So we will not select anything there. And then what I want to do is kind of match up the Wufoo entry to kind of relevance RelateIQ fields. So if you see here, I've selected that leads list that I was showing you in RelateIQ before. That's where I want to send the new relationships from Wufoo into. And I've selected how I want to handle duplicate contacts just in case that occurs. And what I want to do there is update an existing relationship rather than creating a new relationship because I want it to be the system of record. I only want single relationships to show up. I don't want any duplicates. And we can see here we have things like contact name, email address, phone number, status, created date, owner. These are the RelateIQ fields that I just showed you on that leads list automatically populating within Zapier here for you. No manual data entry. They're all here. And what I'm doing is selecting the Wufoo fields from that web form to map to those RelateIQ fields. So you can see here, I've mapped the name that I'm gathering to the RelateIQ contact name, the email, the phone number, and industry to those fields inside of RelateIQ. So that's just in a matter of minutes, just selecting those. What I want to show you is just kind of the test. Let's see what happens. So I always like to do kind of see the example that I want to test with. So it looks like Jason Smith that I had showed you before on that Wufoo web form. I want to test getting him into RelateIQ. So what I'm going to do is kind of test the Zap with this sample. So once I hit test, we can go back into RelateIQ. And you can see here that Jason Smith automatically populated, just appeared. It was not there before. And that's all done through Zapier, through our integration with them, automatically, no manual data entry. There he is. We start populating some of our intelligence fields for Jason in a matter of seconds. Now if we click on Jason, we can go back to the stream. We also give you the context that this occurred, that this was updated by Zapier. You can see that the industry field was also updated to consulting from Zapier. Jason was added by Zapier. And that's all put in chronologically with your existing communication with Jason, all ready for your entire team to access as they continue to try to sell to Jason. So there it is. Industry fields updated. He's in my pipeline. He's in RelateIQ. It's time to start selling to Jason. So let's go back in the stream, and I want to, really start working Jason. So I know my colleague Kevin Lee has been working with Jason in the past about sales. So I'm going to ask Kevin, how's this deal going? Do we need a contract yet? Now what's happening is I've kind of added a comment here for Kevin where he can kind of reply back in a sub-comment. He can he can reply back to me, and he'll get a notification up here in the top right asking how the deal's going for me. I can also do things like log key events like phone calls. And so I had a call with, Jason's already selected here with me. I called him about a contract. You can see here, that's all showing up into the stream. Let's say I really don't want to drop the ball with Jason. I can create what we call a follow-up for Jason. I want to sign that to me. I want to add a note to the follow-up. I want to follow up about contract ASAP with him. Hit save. I'll automatically get a reminder from RelateIQ to follow up with Jason. Now that's what we call a manually created follow-up. We also will create what we call suggested follow-ups to make sure that you're not dropping the ball. So even if I didn't create that manual follow-up and Jason doesn't get back to me and I don't get back to Jason for a few days, our system will let me know that I should be following up with Jason. And so now what we wanted to show you is now that we have those leads in and Jason's kind of getting close to being closed here, I want to update him to in procurement. Let's say that I have notified our finance team that Jason wants a contract. So then our finance team can hop into, let's say, Recurly. Recurly, once again, is a financial or payment system that allows you to generate invoices and charge your customers for any different types of services. And so if you can see here that I'm in Recurly now, and I have Jason Smith here for a contract for $100 for our services. And what I want to do, now that I've told kind of our finance department to generate an invoice, I'm going to pretend like I'm in the finance department, and I'm going to generate an invoice for, oh, excuse me, I need to log in, for Kevin Smith. Sorry, let me go back. Or for Jason Smith, excuse me. Let me click Jason. Here's that $100 invoice. Let me generate that invoice here. Just for now, I'm going to do manual. I'm going to send the invoice manually to him. I'm going to post this invoice. And once I post the invoice, I want to record that payment. And if you can see here, the transaction has been successfully recorded. And it's been recorded as of today, August 12th, and for a payment of $100. So now this is a key milestone in the sales process. How can we use Zapier to not only connect that web form and Wufoo form to RelateIQ, but also connect what's going on in your finance department all within your CRM system? So if I go into Zapier, once again, the journey kind of starts with Zapier. We're going to follow a similar setup flow to how we did Wufoo. So here I'm going to set up connecting Zapier to Recurly and Recurly to RelateIQ. So every time a new transaction occurs in Recurly, which just occurred for Jason Smith, I want to connect that key transaction history, event information, and key field values into RelateIQ. So how do we get that close date field in RelateIQ to update to August 12th? How do we get the revenue field in RelateIQ to update to $100? How do we record in the stream that a transaction has occurred between your finance department and Jason Smith? And so we're all going to do that right now through this setup flow. Next, I'm going to select the Recurly count that I'm using. I'm going to select the RelateIQ count that I've already created. Once again, Recurly and Zapier allow you to kind of filter more robustly on key triggers. So say I only want to sync transactions of a certain value, or only sync transactions from a certain state into RelateIQ. You can kind of define your robust filtering here. For the interest for this demo, I'm interested in syncing all different types of transactions into RelateIQ. So I will leave that there. And if you can see here, I've selected the list leads, which is the list that I'm using RelateIQ to actively sell, to send this relevant event information and field values into RelateIQ. And you can see here, there are those RelateIQ fields that are being automatically populated for you within Zapier. And all you have to do is select which Recurly fields you want to connect to those RelateIQ fields that are on that leads list. And for me, I'm really interested in the email. I'm really interested in that close date. When was this transaction actually executed? I'm really interested in updating the revenue field. How much was the transaction? And I also want to update that status field to deal 1 because we're going to use that inside RelateIQ for our sales reports, and that's kind of the final last active status of my sales pipeline that has been achieved. We're there, we've closed the deal. And so what I want to do, once again, is kind of look at the trigger example. I believe this is for, oh, that's for Tim. Let me go back, let me make sure, let me try to find the one for Jason so we can show you. There's Jason Smith. And so what I want to do is test the Zap with this sample. So success, which is great. We go back into my leads list, and if you can see here, Jason Smith, the status has been automatically updated to deal 1. The close date is automatically updated by Zapier to August 12th. The revenue field has been automatically updated to $100 by Zapier, all in the matter of minutes. So if you can see here, in the matter of a few minutes, we've connected 2 really important processes for your sales process, all the way from web form lead capture to finance, contracting, and payment, using Zap, writing code in a matter of minutes. And it's so if we go back into the stream, I can see that the close date is now August 12th. That was updated by Zapier. The revenue field, all here for you to give you context. And so those are just 2 common examples of how our customers are using Zapier and RelateIQ, web form capture to finance. But we're also noticing a lot of customers are using Zapier to add key events to the RelateIQ stream, so logging key customer interaction. So things like integrating Zendesk or Intercom or Jira or any other tool that you're using to communicate with your customers. How can you get some of that key communication into the stream so that your sales reps have the most context before they hop on a call with the customer? And so we really think that these 3 main workflows, creating the new relationships into your CRM, updating field values for existing items like we just showed you in Recurly, you can do that in other finance tools like Chargeify or Stripe, and adding events to the stream like Zendesk or Intercom are extremely important to have in your CRM and are only made possible by using Zapier. And so Alex is going to close this out here.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we got any questions for Danny, but if you have them now, please post them in the group. Otherwise, please feel free to sign up for a trial of RelateIQ so you can explore the product and see what questions you may have, where someone from our team will reach out to you automatically to answer those and guide you through sort of any integrations if you want to connect Zapier to any of these examples that Andrew went through, Recurly or Wufoo, or any of the other use cases available that we talked about. So you'd sign up for that at relateiq.com/signup. And as I said, please let me know if there's any questions that you have now. Otherwise, we can pass it back to Allison.
Thanks for that, guys. That was amazing. I know the RelateIQ is so powerful. So even just, I know we've really just kind of scratched the surface here of what you can do. So I'm very thankful that you went through that with everyone, and I hope that people even got an idea of where they could get started as it relates to RelateIQ and getting data in from Zapier. One thing I will do here is I know that we spoke about. I'm going to do one little last screen share here, and I know that we spoke about things like Wufoo and Recurly and a couple of other things, but just so people know that we're not necessarily, Zapier connects to we're just about at 500 applications now. So don't think that you have to use any of the apps mentioned today. Chances are that Zapier probably connects to them if you're using them. So things like in the forms world, things like Typeform and Gravity Forms and Job Forms, etc. So there's a ton of different apps, not necessarily just Wufoo. And the same goes for, I know we spoke about finance type things, billing, Recurly, that whole thing. There's a ton of different apps you can connect there. And then there's other awesome things you can also do, like if you wanted to connect your email marketing platforms. Basically, any tool that you can think of where you could get a name, an email address, any sort of information like that, you can most likely take that information and automate it into RelateIQ via Zapier. So in that email marketing world, you know, MailChimp, Infusionsoft, Aweber, all kinds of different options there. So don't think, again, that, you know, you might have just limited options. With close to 500 apps, there's a ton of stuff that you can get done. In the Zapier world. And I know that the guys showed their contact information. This is ours on the Zapier side. If you have any questions at all, that's my personal email and Twitter handle. Or if you'd rather, contact@zapier.com actually goes to the entire Zapier team. So if you didn't get your question answered today, or if maybe something comes up later on down the line, we'd be happy to tackle those as well. And if you need it for any reason, this session will actually archive as soon as we're done here, and you can come back to this page anytime, and it will be totally available for you to use, to watch, to gain any more information that you might want to. And then finally, one last thing, if you scroll all the way down the page that you're on right now, you'll actually see a couple of the zaps that we were talking about earlier, and you can use them right this second. So you just click use a zap and you'll be off and running. So if there's anything today that piqued your interest or you might want to try out a little bit more, you can hop right into that and do that right there. So thank you both to Alex and Andrew for that awesome show of RelateIQ. I know that we really just kind of scratched the surface of what you can do, but I hope that kind of got the wheels turning for a lot of you on what's possible, and you know, anything that you might be able to get into RelateIQ to make your job a little bit easier. You guys have anything else you want to share before we sign off here?
No, I think that's it from our end. Just please let us know if you have any questions, and we look forward to continuing working closely with Zapier and how we can open up the door for all of our customers.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, guys. And again, if you need anything, reach out to either of us anytime. We're always happy to take care of anything that you might need. And in the meantime, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll chat soon. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.